Good morning, Alex and friends. I'm Grace. Today is Sunday, December 22nd, 2024, and you're listening to Alex's News. The weather in Riverside will be mild today with a high of 70.0 degrees and a low of 52.3 degrees Fahrenheit. Coming up, we'll examine the political dynamics affecting Speaker Johnson's position in Congress and his relationship with Donald Trump. We'll also explore an unexpected medical breakthrough as researchers discover that a popular weight loss medication shows promise in treating sleep apnea. Plus, we'll delve into the complex intersection of artificial intelligence ethics and whistleblowing, following the death of a former OpenAI engineer. All this and more coming up on Alex's News. Stay tuned. We begin this morning with the ongoing government shutdown crisis and its impact on House Speaker Mike Johnson. Joining us now is our congressional correspondent Ethan Parker. Ethan, walk us through what's happening on Capitol Hill.
Thanks, Grace. The situation has really put Speaker Johnson in a precarious position as we approach January 3rd, that's just 12 days away, when the first vote of the new House takes place. According to the Star Tribune, Johnson, who wasn't even the first choice for Speaker after McCarthy's removal, managed to push through a bipartisan funding bill that included $100 billion for disaster aid.
Can you break down where exactly that money is going?
Of course, the package includes several major allocations. FEMA's Disaster Relief Fund is receiving $29 billion, while $12 billion is going to HUD's Community Development Block Grant Program. That's the Department of Housing and Urban Development. Additionally, $8 billion is earmarked for the Federal Highway Administration, and $2.2 billion for the Small Business Administration's Disaster Loans Program.
We're hearing a lot about external influences on this process. What role have figures like Donald Trump and Elon Musk played?
According to KTVZ News Channel 21, Trump's support has been crucial for Johnson's survival, leading to multiple meetings at both Mar-a-Lago and Madison Square Garden. As for Musk, he's emerged as a surprisingly powerful figure in this debate. The Billings Gazette reports that Musk used his social media platform to effectively torpedo Johnson's original 1,500-page bipartisan bill.
What about the debt ceiling issue? That's been a major point of contention.
Indeed it has. Trump has called for either completely eliminating the debt ceiling or extending it until 2029. However, this has created significant tension within the Republican Party. 38 House Republicans joined Democrats in opposing the increase, with fiscal conservatives like Representative Chip Roy of Texas strongly pushing back against Trump's demands.
And what's the outlook moving forward?
While Republicans are planning major policy changes, including tax cuts and increased border security funding, Johnson's fragile hold on power could complicate these efforts. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has praised the bipartisan approach, though Senator Bernie Sanders has notably criticized the influence of wealthy individuals like Musk on the legislative process, calling it more oligarchy than democracy.
Thank you, Ethan, for that comprehensive update. We'll continue to follow this developing story. Our next story focuses on a breakthrough in sleep apnea treatment. Joining us now is our health correspondent Chloe Martinez with details about a newly approved medication. Chloe?
Thanks, Grace. Just yesterday, the FDA made a historic decision by approving Eli Lilly's medication Zepbound as the first ever drug treatment for obstructive sleep apnea, specifically targeting adults who have both OSA and obesity.
Can you explain what makes this approval so significant?
Well, according to NPR's reporting, until now, people with sleep apnea have primarily relied on CPAP machines. Those are devices that deliver pressurized air through a mask while sleeping. This new medication offers an alternative approach, and as Dr. Sally Seymour from the FDA's Division of Pulmonology told ABC7 News, it's being hailed as a major step forward for patients.
What kind of results have they seen in clinical trials?
The results are quite impressive. According to Scripps News, 2-year-long studies showed that patients experienced 25 fewer breathing interruptions per hour during sleep. Even more remarkably, up to 50% of participants no longer had OSA symptoms after a year. Patients also lost significant weight. Those using CPAP with Zepbound lost an average of 45 pounds, while those without CPAP lost about 50 pounds.
That's substantial. What about the cost? Will this be accessible to patients?
That's a key concern, Grace. The list price is $1,059.87 per month, but there are some options. Patients with commercial insurance might pay as little as $25 monthly with a savings card. Without insurance, Eli Lilly offers the medication through their Lilly Direct program for $399 to $549 monthly. However, it's important to note that Medicare Part D currently doesn't cover Zepbound for any indication.
And how widespread is sleep apnea in the U.S.?
The condition affects between 15 and 20 million American adults, with a higher prevalence in men at 34% compared to 17% in women. It's a significant health issue that's often associated with obesity, which is why this dual-action treatment is particularly noteworthy.
Thank you for breaking this down for us, Chloe. That's story 2 of 3 this morning. Here are some other headlines. In a significant escalation of tensions, China has warned that the U.S. is playing with fire following a new $571 million military aid package to Taiwan. The package includes tactical radio systems and gun mounts, adding to a previous $567 million in assistance authorized in September. China has announced countermeasures under their anti-foreign sanctions law, targeting U.S. defense firms. In a concerning friendly fire incident, 2 U.S. Navy pilots were shot down over the Red Sea when their F/A-18 Super Hornet was mistakenly hit by the USS Gettysburg. Both pilots ejected safely, with one sustaining minor injuries. The incident occurred during operations targeting Yemen's Houthi rebels, who have been attacking commercial vessels in the region. Top soccer players are revolting against FIFA's expansion of the Club World Cup to 32 teams. Players' unions are considering legal challenges and potential strikes, citing concerns about an already congested match calendar and player welfare. The expanded tournament is set to begin next summer in the United States. Baseball legend Rickey Henderson, known as the Man of Steel and considered baseball's greatest leadoff hitter, has died at age 65. Henderson held numerous MLB records, including most career stolen bases, with 1,406, and runs scored with 2,295. He was a 10-time All-Star and won 2 World Series titles. The prairie band Potawatomi Nation is making progress in reclaiming ancestral lands in Illinois after 170 years. A pending bill in the Illinois General Assembly aims to transfer approximately 1,500 acres of Shabbona Lake State Park back to the tribe. The nation has already purchased 128 acres and 2 homes on their original reservation. And now for our third story of the morning. We turn to the tragic news from San Francisco's tech community. OpenAI is mourning the loss of one of its former engineers who was also a prominent whistleblower. Joining us with more details is our tech correspondent, Ethan Parker. Ethan?
Thank you, Grace. According to the Associated Press, 26-year-old Suchir Balaji, a former OpenAI engineer, was found dead in his San Francisco apartment on November 26. The city's chief medical examiner has confirmed this was a suicide, with no evidence of foul play.
Can you tell us about Balaji's role at OpenAI and his contributions to the company?
Balaji spent nearly 4 years at OpenAI, where he made significant contributions to groundbreaking projects. He worked on WebGPT, which was actually the foundation for what we now know as ChatGPT. OpenAI co-founder John Schulman has praised Balaji as one of the company's strongest contributors, particularly noting his attention to detail and ability to find elegant, simple solutions to complex problems.
I understand he had become a whistleblower before his death. What concerns was he raising?
Yes, that's correct. According to reporting from the New York Times, Balaji had become increasingly concerned about potential legal issues at OpenAI, particularly regarding copyright infringement. He believed that training AI models on people's data without their permission was illegal. His name appeared in several court filings related to copyright infringement cases, including lawsuits by the New York Times and various authors, including comedian Sarah Silverman.
When did he leave OpenAI, and what led to his departure?
Balaji left the company in August of this year, during a period of significant internal turmoil that coincided with the firing and subsequent rehiring of CEO Sam Altman. Sources indicate his departure was also influenced by concerns about the commercial rollout of OpenAI's products and their tendency to produce what's known in the industry as hallucinations, essentially false information. Before his death, he had been planning to pursue a doctorate and explore alternative approaches to building artificial intelligence.
Can you tell us about his background and how he got started in AI?
Balaji grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area and studied computer science at UC Berkeley, where he initially interned at OpenAI. His parents have described him as a happy, smart, and brave young man who enjoyed hiking and had recently returned from a trip with friends. A memorial service is being planned at the India Community Center in Milpitas, California.
Thank you for that report, Ethan. Such a tragic loss for the tech community and his family. That's all we have for now. Today's episode was made by Alexander King with Claude Sonnet 3.5, the Perplexity API, and the Google Cloud Text-to-Speech API. I hope you have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow, Alex.